Happy New Year, everyone. Today on Unwanted Opinions, we are going to dive a little into new movies coming out this year and what I am most excited for. I'm not going to go into the plot and details of every single movie because there is a lot, but I will share the details for what I am excited for. Now, before I get into movies this year, some horror news that I have recently learned that I'm super stoked for. I learned from another horror creator, Josh Levesque. Links to his Instagram and TikTok are in the description. Go give him a follow. He's super fun. His content is fantastic. Now, he heard this news from Bloody Disgusting, who posted the news after Deadline. Both great blogs, links also down in the description. But I learned through him that Eli Roth is giving us a full feature to a mock trailer he created for 2007's Grindhouse. Now, if you're not familiar with that, so Grindhouse was Planet Terror and Death Proof done by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. They had an intermission bit where they featured mock trailers, and that's where we got Hobo with a Shotgun, Machete, which both went on to be feature films. Now, Thanksgiving was another one done by Eli Roth that we never got the feature for, and fans have wanted it. But we just learned that Eli Roth has handed off the reins for reshoots on Borderlands so he can bless us with Thanksgiving. We are waiting for the full official news from him still, so fingers crossed that's sooner rather than later. So there, and if you have no idea still what trailer I am talking about right now, there's a link down in the description as well. Now, after that digression, let's get to why we're here. So I'm going to go by month on these. I'm sure there are movies I have missed, but most of these movies, with the exception of two, I found on a blog by Bloody Disgusting. Again, check them out. They're really good for horror news. So we're going to start off in January. Two of the movies have already been released, which are Megan and Candyland. Other movies expected this month are Skinamarink, There's Something Wrong with the Children, Kids vs. Aliens, and Infinity Pool. Personally, Megan is the one I want to see most this month, just because I know the AI doll is built to protect and will kill anyone she is meant to be that gets in her way and against her mission to protect this little girl, and is going to stop at nothing. So it has like that Chucky vibe a bit to it, and I don't know. There's a lot of movies done on AI and artificial intelligence, but nobody seems to be learning that it just goes horribly wrong. I don't know. This looks like another movie where they haven't learned their lesson, but it still looks fun. Megan had its theater debut on January 6th, and I haven't heard nothing but great things about it. Now, February, we're expecting to see Knock at the Cabin Door, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Cocaine Bear, and The Outwaters. Now, two of these I'm looking forward to. The one is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now, I'm looking forward to it, but I am very skeptical going into this. Just because Winnie the Pooh is like, it was a huge part of my childhood, and we're only going to see Winnie the Pooh and Piglet because they are public domain. And of course, Christopher Robin. But Piglet's my favorite, and I don't know how I'm going to handle him being a bloodthirsty killing monster, but I do remain optimistic. I don't know how I'm going to feel, but I guess we'll find out. I'm either going to be really sad or really amused. And Cocaine Bear is another one. Now, this could go either way as well. This movie could be absolutely fantastic or an absolute dumpster fire. But that's not going to stop me from seeing it. I know this is based off the story of a drug runner who died and had a black bear eat an ungodly amount of cocaine, making that bear literally the most dangerous apex predator to exist in the world before it died. So seeing this as a black comedy, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's my prediction. Yeah, I guess we're doing unwanted predictions too. Now in March we have Scream 6, 65, Holy Shit, and Family Dinner. I'm not too excited about anything, and I'm going to get lynched. I guess Scream would be the one I'm excited for. I'm not a huge fan of the franchise. I enjoy the movies, but really, like, even Scream 5 I didn't even bother to go see in theaters, and probably going to be the same for Scream 6, not gonna lie, but Come at me. I said what I said. Now, in April, we're going to see the documentary Living with Chucky and other films such as Renfield, The Black Demon, and Evil Dead Rise. I'm definitely excited for the documentary. I really love documentaries on horror and the franchises. I'm looking forward to the interviews with Don Mancini, Jennifer Tilly, and other actors from the movies and how they feel about the franchise, and even learning fun facts about it. I'm just a sucker for it. And I know I am so not alone in this, but I am so amped for Evil Dead Rise. I love the franchise. The movies we have been blessed with before are just phenomenal. I know this movie will have no ties to the former films. It's going to be its own story, but it's going to have the same concept. There's obviously an Necronomicon somebody stumbles upon, but I'm sure we'll see a fair share of shoutouts and Easter eggs to its predecessors, and those are always so fun to see. Now, I couldn't find anything really for May, so let's just dive into June, which all I could see was The Blackening. Thankfully, July seems a little more promising as we will be seeing the 5th Insidious installment. This one returns to the Lambert family, but 10 years after the events of chapters 1 and 2. I did have a holy shit moment when I realized chapter 2 came out 10 years ago and the first came out 12 years ago. So this is going to follow the Lambert family. Dalton's going off to college, the main kid from kind of the first 2 movies. I love this franchise. It's always gotten to me. It's always scared the hell out of me, so I am really fucking stoked to get scared shitless again. August and September have a few movies to come as well. In August we have Meg 2, The Trench, The Last Voyage of Demeter, They Listen, and in September we will be seeing The Nun 2. Now, The Last Voyage of Demeter I am interested in because it looks like it's going to follow one chapter of Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, and that chapter is called The Captain's Log. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to get a movie out of this. Also, I do really like that book too, so that should be a lot of fun. I'm curious about The Nun 2. I know I'm going to end up seeing it because I'm a completist. I've seen every other movie in the franchise. I wasn't crazy about the first Nun movie. The Nun did kind of scare me a little bit in The Conjuring 2. Still kind of freaks me out a bit, but we'll see how it goes. Now, of course, my favorite month of the year for horror is October, and both movies that I have found, October can't come fast enough right now. We have The Exorcist and Saw 10. I love The Exorcist. It's a movie that still gets to me a bit to this day. Mostly the crucifix scene. If you know, you know. But this installment will be a direct sequel from the original version from 1973, and we have the gorgeous Ellen Burstyn returning as Chris McNeil for the first time since the original. For Saw, I find it to be a bit of an underrated franchise. I wasn't crazy about Jigsaw. I did enjoy Spiral, but this installment, we don't know the plot. But this will feature new Tobin Bell footage, so more Jigsaw footage. It's going back to its roots a little bit. And to wrap up, we can expect this year a 5th Ghostbusters movie in December. We also have movies that their release dates are to be announced still. These movies are Beau is Afraid, Consecration, Cuckoo, Dark Harvest, Maxine, Salem's Lot, Shelby Oaks, Time Cut, and don't come at me if I say this wrong, but Ennis Men, I don't know. So out of the to be determined, I am super stoked for Maxine. I loved X and Pearl, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Ty West has in store for us. We know the story is still going to follow Maxine, the sole survivor from the events of X, trying to still move on and make it big in Hollywood. So we'll see how that goes for her. I'm also really excited for Salem's Lot. I love the original and I really love the book, so I'm excited to see how this takes place and is a bit more modernized for today's audience. Because that's the joy with reboots. They're really just trying to take the classics that we love and amp it up for today's audience and generations. So that is all I have on movies coming out this year. Hopefully I can see them all, especially the ones I'm excited for. But no matter what, I'll still be here to tell you guys all about it.